Are you tired of dealing with mistakes and slow data entry when managing employee records? Today I'll show you how to create an automated Excel data entry form that collects employee information effortlessly and accurately. In this step-by-step guide, we'll design a user-friendly Excel form specifically for entering new employee details. We can add values, check boxes, drop-downs, and pop-ups depending on your answer. By clicking Submit, all of the results will be collected in this datasheet. Although we'll focus on employee information, these easy-to-follow techniques can be adapted to manage various types of data, such as customer information or expense tracking. Let's begin by designing our form. I've already opened a new workbook. Start by typing a clear and professional title, like Employee Information, into cell B2. Below this title, we'll add essential employee details, such as employee first name in cell B4, last name in B6, date of birth in cell B8, email in cell B10, gender in cell B12. Now let's start by adding some job details and some additional details. Click on cell E4, type Job Title. In cell E6, type Basic Salary. In cell E8, type Payment Method. In cell E10, Employment Type, for example, full-time, part-time, or contract. And in cell E12, location. For example, office or remote. Let's adjust the column width neatly so that your form looks organized. Align the text neatly to the right side of the cells and apply bold formatting. Also, merge cells from B2 to G2 to center the title. I'll decrease the width of column G to about 30 pixels. For better readability, increase the font size of title to 22. Set the background color of the title area to dark blue and choose white as the font color to create contrast. I want to enhance your form by adding your company logo for a professional touch. So let's increase the height of row 2 to 50 pixels so we have room for a logo. Right here, I can insert a logo from the Insert tab, Pictures, Place over Cells, and here is the logo. I will resize it appropriately and place it neatly at the top of your form. Great! Next, clearly highlight where the users will enter data. Select the cell beside first name and fill it with a subtle gray color. Add clear borders around this cell to make it distinct. I'll select this outside border. Now you can easily copy this formatting to other input cells by double-clicking the Format Painter and then clicking each input cell. Alright, for this cell we would like to create some kind of checkbox that says Office or Remote. Press Escape to deactivate the Format Painter afterward. Let's ensure the data entered is clear and consistent. Select cells indented for numeric entries such as Basic Salary, and from Number Format you can format them with 1000 separator but no decimals. Similarly, format the Date of Birth cell correctly by choosing the Date Format option. I'll choose this type. Nice! To make entering employment type faster and error-free, we'll create a simple drop-down list. Go to the Data tab. Select Data Validation and choose List. Now let's enter employment type names separated by commas like full-time, part-time, and contract. Press OK, and done. Our drop-down list is ready. For the location field, we'll use option buttons, also called radio buttons, to provide easy selection. First things first, we need to bring the developer tab into our lives. If you don't see it in your ribbon, don't panic. Right-click the ribbon, choose Customize the ribbon, check the box for developer, and hit OK. Boom! You're a developer. Kind of. With that done, it's time to insert the option buttons. Head over to the Developer tab, click Insert, and select Option button from the form controls. Alright, let's place it beside Location and label it Office. Right-click, edit text, and name it Office. You can duplicate this button if you right-click on it to select it and then press Ctrl D. Label the second one Remote. I'll decrease the size a bit and neatly align both buttons horizontally. Right-click the first one, Escape, Control to select the second one, Shape Format tab, and from there press the Align button. I will choose the Align Middle option. Let's select the Remote button. With the left arrow, move it to the left a little bit. Now it's good. To clearly distinguish your form from the rest of your spreadsheet, remove grid lines and apply a border around the entire form area, including column G. As an additional step, you should also decrease the height of these blank rows that are between the fields. They are rows 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. If you want, you can highlight all these rows with the help of the Control key. Right-click to one of these and change the row height to 10 pixels. Also, I'm going to rename this worksheet to Form. The next step is to list out the fields. We have here a few cells below the data form. So let's select first the fields from column B, from B4 to B12, and paste it here as values, starting from cell B20. Okay? Let's do the same with these fields and paste them below the gender field. To get rid of those blank rows, we can select the blank rows and delete them. Now, right next to them, we just want to link their answers. So click on C20, type equal, and link it with the first name of the data form, which is in cell C4. Enter. So if I type a name in the form, for example, Andreas, this name is reflected here. I'm going to fast forward and link the remaining cells. For the location over here, it gets more complicated because we don't have one answer. It's a checkbox. So what are we going to do? Let's select one of these boxes, right-click and Format Control. Now when this is checked, we want to link a specific cell, which is the cell right beside the answer of the location, so D29. Click OK. So when we select office, the answer is 1, and when we select remote, the answer is 2. And how can we use that result? Well, we're going to create an if statement that when this cell is equal to 1, the result will be in office. When it is equal to 2, the result will be remote. Let's dive in. Click on cell C29 and type equal if parenthesis. If D29 is equal to 2, then type remote in double quotes. Otherwise, type office. Close parenthesis and enter. Let's try it. It works fine. Next, we'll automate the transfer of data from the form to a separate worksheet named Data. So let's create this new worksheet and name it Data. Alright. The next step is to copy all your form's labels from B20 to B29. Go to Data, click on cell B2, paste Special. We want to paste the labels as values and transpose horizontally as column headers. Press OK. Let's highlight all the columns and double-click to adjust column widths. To ensure that numerical and date columns are correctly formatted, we will format the date of birth as date and the basic salary as a number. The next step is to automate data. Automating data entry is simple with macros. A macro in Excel is like a small program or a set of recorded instructions that automate repetitive tasks. Imagine you're frequently copying, pasting, and formatting data in Excel. Instead of doing the same steps repeatedly, you can record those steps once. Excel remembers them as a macro. Then, whenever you need to perform those actions again, you can just click a button and Excel automatically does it for you. Back to the form worksheet. And let's fill the form with some basic values. Go to the Developer tab, click the Record Macro button. We will start recording a macro named Collect. Click OK. By clicking OK, the macros start to record exactly what we do. The first step is to go to the data sheet. Click on B3, then from the Home tab select Insert Sheet Rows from this button. The next step is from the form worksheet, we will copy the cells C20 to C29. Then back to the data sheet in cell B3, right-click Paste Special. Alright, we want to paste them as values and check the transpose box. Press OK. Return to the form sheet and clear out the entered data. So we will delete the values of the form one by one. Finally, click the first name field. Then from the Developer tab, stop recording the macro. We just recorded all the steps to add a new entry, but how do we run the macro? Make using your macro easy by creating a simple Submit button. Let's insert a button from the Developer tab. Click the Insert button and select this button from the form controls. First, I'll increase the height of the row to 13. I think 50 pixels is okay. Draw it at the bottom of the form over here. The Assign Macro dialog box is activated. Let's assign the Collect macro to it and label it Submit. Now entering and submitting data becomes quick and efficient. Let's fill in the data again by adding a few values. Now if we click Submit and go to the data worksheet, you'll see the new entry, a record that we just created. Good stuff. To hide these raw data in the form worksheet, we can highlight all of them and match them with a background color. So white is great. Before we continue protecting our form and save it as a special Excel file, if you want to automate all your repetitive work with Excel macros and VBA, get rid of tedious low-value tasks and become indispensable to your clients and organization, check my VBA and macros course. With over 10 hours of high-quality videos, you'll learn step-by-step with real-world projects how to make reporting 10 times faster. Check out the link in the description below for more details. So we have created a macro for automating the data entry process. Now we need to save this as a macro-enabled file. Saving your workbook as a macro-enabled file will ensure that all functionalities remain intact. Go to the File tab, Save As, Browse, and from the Save As type drop-down, we select Excel Macro-Enabled Workbook option. Change the file name if you want and save the file. Great! The final step is to protect the form from unintended changes. Let's first select the input cells with the help of Control key. And I'll continue with other fields except radio buttons. Radio buttons and other from controls like checkboxes are not affected by Excel's regular sheet protection in the same way that cells are. Form controls like radio buttons are objects floating on top of the worksheet, not inside cells themselves. Excel doesn't treat them as data in the traditional sense. If you have an idea on how to prevent users from changing radio buttons, please post it in the comments. Right-click on the selection, Format Cells, Protection tab, and ensure that the cells are unlocked by unchecking the Locked checkbox. OK. Then go to the Review tab and from the Protect Sheet button, protect the worksheet with a secure password. Re-enter the password to confirm it is correct. Users will now only be able to input data, preventing accidental modifications. And congratulations! You've successfully created an automated Excel data entry form that simplifies and streamlines your data management process. You can now adapt these easy-to-follow techniques for various other applications. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated with more helpful Excel tips. Feel free to ask questions or leave comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.